Hi guys, welcome back to the Player YouTube channel. I'm AJ the Player, and today I've got the new Ford EcoSport with me. We're going to take a look around this car. We're going to have a look under the bonnet, we're going to have a look in the back and the driver's seat and everything else. Get this car out on the road and give you our evaluation of this new facelifted car from Ford. So first up, I think I quite like the look of this car. It's got some really sort of funky little lines. It's known as the urban crossover, i.e. escaping the city to the jungle. Yeah. Well, whatever. It does come in this nice desert island blue, which is an extra £500 if you want it. And this particular car has got high intensity discharge headlights. What a great name for some nice bulbs that have been put in there. And a great price too. They're an extra 500 UK pounds for these. But nevertheless, they are very good at night. The Ford EcoSport comes in 4 different trim levels. You've got the entry level, which is the titanium, and it starts at around 20,500 UK pounds. The next one up is the ST-Line Black, and that comes with a nice black roof. And then you've got the ST-Line, and then obviously you go up to this one, which you've probably noticed here, is the Active. Now the Active starts at around £21,600. This car's got a few extra packs on it, and I'll explain those when we get inside the car. So you've seen around the front, you get these nice 17-inch alloys. I really do like them actually, they're very nice. Now let's have a little look under the bonnet. First of all, before I open the bonnet, I love this grille. It's very, to me, I don't know what you guys think, it's very sort of Ranger, you know, the Ford Ranger sort of look. I don't know, just because it's got a bit of gloss around the edges. So the bonnet release is here in the driver's side footwell. You just lean underneath, you'll find it under there. And the actual bonnet catch itself, if you lift the bonnet slightly there to the left, there's a yellow button. Just slide it over with your thumb. Very heavy bonnet. Stay pops up here in the middle. There you go. Okay, so engine options. There are only 2 options. This is the Ford EcoBoost engine. This is the petrol variant. It is a 1 litre 3-cylinder engine. It's a super little engine, develops around about 140 brake horsepower. It's got a top speed of 111 miles an hour. Ooh, scary on this car, I can tell you. And a 0 to 60 of around about 11 seconds. If you really do want to go down the diesel route, it's a 4-cylinder 1.5 litre engine, and it develops about 100 brake horsepower. But I think this is the one to go for. Sadly, it looks like somebody's left the top bit off, because I've never seen an engine all exposed like that, apart from very old engines anyway. All of these engines are married up to a nice 6-speed manual gearbox, which makes it tremendous fun to drive around. Let's go and have a look round the back. So round at the back here, well, it's different looking, and there's a few quirky bits and pieces about this car that you might like or you might not like. Let's start at the top. So we've got the DAB radio rail up there. We've got a little bit of aero going on here, and then we've got a stop tail in there as well, and we've got a wash wipe here. Now, from the outside, if you look at this rear screen, it looks huge. Remember that, because in a minute I'm going to show you something. There's one good thing about this rear screen. First of all, it's tinted in the black here. That is, again, one of the options, one of the extras. Again, I'll mention all those extras when we get inside. One thing you will notice, there are no rubbers around the windscreen anymore. So these are what I like to affectionately call the floating glass screens. And the reason they do this, because back in the day when we used to have those rubbers all the way around, the water used to get in there and it was sitting there and just rot its way through the metal here. Anyway, some nice big chunky side lights here. We like those. And a bit of a, well, got a mirror here actually. Look, you can actually see yourself in the back. It's rather nice. When you get a little bit too close, you can actually see how close you are. You get your big EcoSport badge here and a nice big chunky bumper, and I think this has been done on purpose to absorb any major impacts from behind when reversing, for example. Quite a cheap option just to replace that whole panel, I'm guessing. Anyway, okay, no big exhaust on the back here. You weren't expecting that anyway, were you? Now next, there comes the next quirky bit. First of all, where is the button that, you know, to release the tailgate, so to speak? There isn't down here, it's not up here. Well, if you look carefully, this one is slightly different here. Look, it's got a bit of an indent, and it's in there that you can put your hand, and there is a release panel. Have you noticed something? Who designed this? Because suddenly we've gone from a sort of little Ford mini SUV into, well, it's, all I can say, it looks like a Jeep. That's how Jeeps work. And it really isn't nice, because you imagine when you've got one of these and you've got the kids in there and the pram, and you know, you're trying to get out and you've parked up, and then you come around the back and you have to open it up, and there's some in here, another car parked here, or that's the barrier where, you know, the edge of the car or the wall or wherever. you're not going to get this open. It's going to be stuck back here. You're going to be struggling to get in. I don't understand what this whole idea was about. It's nice because it does give you this huge expanse here to get things in and out. But okay, so that's faux pas number one. You remember I said about that rear screen looking big from behind? Look at it now. It is tiny. So yeah, if looks could deceive, it is really, really small. The only good thing about that screen is the fact that it's tinted, and you only get that if you pay extra money. Very plasticky, I have noticed that, but I wasn't expecting much less. What I wasn't expecting was what happened next. The inevitable parcel shelf. Yes, how wonderful is that? And it will even stay up on its own. That's rather cool, isn't it? No. We had so much trouble trying to get this out. So we decided, when I mean out, because we need to show you what to do with it when you get it out, because you're going to need it out when you're putting stuff in and out of here. So we went online and we asked a few people, well, how do we get this out? Is there a way of getting it out? Because we don't want to break it. And in the proverbial words of Star Wars, they said, use force, use major force. And we were like, what? I'll show you what I mean. So imagine you're, say, an elderly lady, for example, and you own one of these, and you need to do this. Ready? That's how you get this out. That is the only way. And the other side. Ready? There. Frightening, isn't it? And what do you do with this? Well, you'd think you'd be able to hide it under here somewhere, or put it in here, or maybe put it around. Nah. Basically, what a waste of space. Why? Don't need them. Get rid of them. Useless things. Enough said. Gone. Throw it away. When you buy one of these, throw it away. Look, let's carry on. Before I have another rant and a rave, let's carry on. Okay, in the back here, 300 litres of boot space. It's not the biggest, guys, but it is not. The fact that you've got this big open space here makes things very, very easy to get in and out. You get your prams in there, your push chairs, your dogs in there. It's lovely. Shopping. You do have a split level, and there's a reason for that split level. So this comes right out. I'll show you the split level bit in a minute. I'm going to move that out the way for the moment. So you get a nice little kit. This is mostly for when you are overseas, because the requirement now is a high-vis vest, and then you've got to have your little triangle, 100 yards behind. So I'm going to put that over there for the moment. You've then got a lovely piece of carpet. How nice is that? Which I'm going to move out the way so you can see what I'm going to show you next. I was hoping, really hoping, we'd have a space saver wheel in here, because you need a space saver wheel. What we didn't expect was you're going to get one of these. Right, now I'm going to show you. There's your little pack. So you're driving along, all of a sudden, and it's like, oh, got a puncture. You get out, you look at it and you go, oh, okay, seems to be a bit of damage on the wheel. I might have clipped the curb, but I've got a puncture because the tyre's gone. So you come to the back here and you remove your latex. This is your latex. Beware, it smells. In actual fact, it stinks, it reeks. What you have to do is undo the valve in your tyre, and then you put this stuff in a special little thing that gets it through that valve, and you squeeze it all out until it goes in the tyre. You throw this away when you get home, because we don't just throw bottles away, as you know. And then you slightly roll the car forward so it coats the inside of the tyre. You then remove the pump. Yes, I can't even get it. Oh, it's so tight. That's a pump, okay? So you plug that in your 12-volt adapter and it starts pumping up the tyre. You plug it in that little valve that you've now replaced and put back, and nothing happens, apart from you get showered in latex. Some people might actually like that, but personally, it's not my cup of tea. It doesn't work. They never have worked. They're completely and utterly useless. Buy yourself a tyre plugger. There you go. Have a look that one up, because tyre pluggers are great. However, that's not where I was going. When I started the rant earlier, I wanted to talk about space savers and getting rid of those parcel shelves. Get rid of the parcel shelf. Get rid of those books that you get in the glove box. You know, the owner's manual? Because everything in that owner's manual, you can sit on your phone and look up how to replace a fuse in seconds, quicker than you could actually go through that book. The book takes up space in the glove box, and those stupid parcel shelves, they're useless anyway. Get rid of those two. Manufacturers could afford to give you a space saver instead of this stupid kit in here, which must cost money as well. All these pumps they're manufacturing. Anyway, my rant for the day, I'm going to leave that there. I can't even get it put back right. But what I want to show you, I'm going to have to put it back right because I've got to show you what it's like with the seats down. Right, there. It does work, see? So we'll put that one back in here. It's a good job I do this job sitting down, isn't it? There we go. Look at that. And we'll put the Velcro tabs there. Right. So, remember what I said, 300 litres of boot space. Now, with the magic of a button there and the magic of a button over there, 1,200 litres of boot space. But come here and check this out. Look at the lip here. Now that's going to be a problem. If you're trying to slide long items in there, it's going to get caught there and you're not going to get it up there. So Ford, or the designers at Ford, came up with an idea. They came up with a second level. But then, look at that. Now that, personally, I think is genius. I think that's really clever. So it's taken away that horrible lip. So just by adding a little bit of extra height there, you now get a nice gradient all the way up there. This car is fantastic for getting down to your local I was going to say B&Q, but if you're not watching this in the UK, then you won't know what I'm talking about. Hardware store, guys. Take a trip with the kids, take the dog, everything. You're going to get everything loaded in here. And to be honest, it's absolutely ideal. Let's go see what it's like for the passengers. Right, let's see what it's like in the back for the passengers. I wasn't expecting too much in here. These are quite firm seats, but I think after they've been used for a while, they're going to settle in really nicely. And as this is the Active, it's the top of the range, so you've got some premium fabrics in here, as they say. You've got the, well, I don't know what they're used for, but they seem to be in all the cars. At least these aren't Granny's fishnet stockings in the back here. There are no independent heating controls. There are no charging points. There's basically nothing in the back here. So although it was designed as a family car, they've sort of forgotten that there might be kids in here that need to charge their gizmos up and stuff. However, I did remember earlier on, I noticed just over here, there is a 12-volt adapter. And I suppose one of you could share it if you wanted to. One good thing about the back here, the seat belts are recessed, which is quite nice. That means you don't catch your belt or your jeans, or if you're in a dress or something, you're not going to get caught in it. You can slide across here. Secondly, it's a very low transmission tunnel, so it makes sort of getting across and sitting in the middle, it's actually really comfortable. And if you look how much space there is either side, and there's loads of headroom in here, I mean, this is easily 3 people across here. That I'm very surprised about as well. Isofix points, as you would expect, either side. They're hidden away underneath there. Again, I like that because in some other cars, in different manufacturers, they actually put those ones that are plastic things and they flip open and you lose them or they break. These are good. They're just sort of tucked right in out the way there. There's no central armrest in this car at all. But, you know, again, it's not the end of the world. I wasn't expecting all bells and whistles. One thing I do like about this car is the airiness, the feel of it. There's plenty of room in here, and I wasn't thinking it was going to be like. I thought it would be quite tight in the back here. Anyway, enough said. Let's get round the front, see what it's like for the driver. Right, let's check out up front for the driver. And the first thing I noticed when I got in this car is how really nice and comfortable the seats are. A bit like in the back, actually. They are really nicely bolstered as well. The only thing is, it's very high, and you have to use a manual adjustment to put it down. That's about as low as you can go, but it's still quite a nice position to be in. It's keyless entry and ignition on this car, and you get a little place to put the key just down there in the middle. So I'm going to put it down there now, and I've actually pressed the button, and there we go. It's all going to fire up. Lovely. Oh, burrito. It's all. Oh, okay. It wants me to do things, and it's asking me lots of things, and it's buzzing, and full accessory power active. Okay. Well, it's all happening in here, isn't it, today? Okay. Before we talk about all the little electrical things on here, let's have a look at the steering wheel, because that is what we need to adjust, and it's got loads of adjustment. Look at that, plenty. Get that in a really nice position and lock it up there. Another thing I noticed, very similar to the Citroen Picasso, are those window bits up there that make it's got that really long sort of screen, but nowhere near as long as the Picasso, and it's sort of verging on becoming that with those windows that are around there for no apparent reason why I can't see it. Well, if you've got a reason you think they're put in there, put it in the comment box below. Another thing, with the TFT screen we've got up here in the middle, I find that a little intrusive. It's almost like it's an added appendage, so to speak. It's like somebody's gone, we better give it a big touch screen because everyone else has got one, and they've, well, where do we put it? We'll just stick it in the middle, because it doesn't feel like it should be back there a little bit. It's too right in your face here, and it's too upright. It needs to be slightly, I don't know. Not over keen on that, but one thing I'm very keen on are knobs. I love knobs. And this car comes in an abundance of knobs. When you look, I'm talking about these here and these here. Now you're probably thinking, why does he love knobs so much? Well, back in the good old days, you get in the car, it was freezing cold, you've got your gloves on, it's minus something, you're sitting there, you want to get your heating working so you can turn them. You don't have to go keep, pushing all the buttons, all the digital bits, turn the heating up, turn the heating down. And this car absolutely excels in that. Look at the size of those knobs, they're absolutely amazing. And then up here, while you're waiting for the car to warm up before you set off, because don't forget your windscreen will all be frozen up, well, it won't be if you've got this car. I'll explain that in a second. You've got your sounds. You want to listen to the radio, you can change the tune, the channel, or if you've got your tunes on with your phone, you can do all that as well, because this comes with Android Mirror and Apple Play as well. It's all lovely, it's all got that. But you need those knobs to turn it. There you go. And this car comes with a premium Lux pack. You get the Bang & Olufsen 10-speaker surround system with it. And it does sound actually good, without joking apart. So you've got your knobbly bits here, and you've also got your nice sort of modern touchy screeny bits as well, which I like. You've got your phone in here, you've got your Bluetooth, and as I mentioned, you've got Apple Play and Android Mirror as well. Let's take a little look around. You've got a couple of USB charging ports up here at the front. With this car, I mentioned about heated screen. For an extra 600 UK pounds, you can get the winter pack. And the winter pack on this car means that you get a heated steering wheel, and you get heated front seats and a heated front screen. That, I think, is essential. So your base level is £21,600. Definitely add on 600 quid for that, because that's got to be what you need in the winter. You're living in the UK here, don't forget. Or anywhere else that's cold. This doesn't come on the entry level. There's nothing here on the entry level. But we're talking about the Active today. And the Active gets this, well, minute glove box that has no real use apart from putting a penknife in there or something. Why you'd have a penknife, I don't know. Manual handbrake, yeah, look at that, we love it. I hate those electronic handbrakes. I don't know how you feel about that, hate them. Double cup holder down here. The only problem is the double cup holder, when you put your cup there, the handbrake's in the way. So once you release the handbrake, I'll put my foot on the brake so we don't go rolling off. You have to sort of reach over the handbrake. You don't want to be doing that. You've got your keys down there, that's the main thing. Nice 6-speed manual gearbox, mentioned that earlier. 12-volt adapter just in front there on a little poppy-uppy bit. Steering wheel. Left-hand side, well, bottom left, we've got cruise control, speed limiter, you can set it, resume, constant, whatever you want. Nice and easy to use. Comes up on the dashboard here, on the instrument cluster. Now, it's not a digital instrument cluster on this car, but then, were you really expecting that for 20-something thousand pounds? No, I wasn't. But, nevertheless, it's very functional and very easy to use. And above here is how you cursor around on your menu. Not curse when you use the menu, when you use the cursor to move around on your menu. Yeah. I'll work that one out in a minute. On the right hand side here is your telephone system. So you don't have to push buttons over there. You can do it all over here. And in the middle is your Ask Ford button, because it's like an Ask Siri button or Ask Alexa button, but because it's in a Ford, it's an Ask Ford button, because you push that and you go, can you do so-and-so, like, I'd like to listen to Radio 1, and push, ask it, and it'll do it for you. It's really clever. I like that. Right hand side down here, instrument cluster. It's a lighting cluster. Just set it on auto, does it itself. And then you've got your rear fogs and your front fogs and stuff like that. Windscreen wipers to the right, lights to the left. Everything's very simple and easy to use. At the end of the day, this is a Ford glove box. Didn't think I was going to let that one go, did you? Well, before we look in the glove box, you get this sort of like little bit of railing here, which is quite nice. And then below it is somewhere you can put a phone, or, as a passenger, somewhere to put bits and pieces. Glove box, well, non-existent really, isn't it? But you do get a neoprene handbook, an owner's neoprene handbook. Look at that. Now, if you were going diving for the weekend, this would perfectly match everything in your kit bag. You could even take it on the boat and go, I've got a Ford neoprene owner's manual. Look, I said it when we were up the back, get rid of these things. Even though this does have its own little shelf for its little neoprene book, which is rather nice, you've still got no room. By the time you've got your fluorescent vests in there, tucked away, and you shut. I mean, it makes so much more sense, wouldn't it? Making sense means making this thing get out and go on the road. Let's go and have a bit of fun with the Ford EcoSport out on the road and give you our final evaluation of this little SUV. Here we are, guys. Big smile on my face. Check it out. That little 1 litre 3-cylinder engine, that Ford EcoBoost engine, it's just a smile a minute. It really is. It growls at you. It's like, listen to this. Listen, ready? And the torque. There's so much torque on that engine. Fantastic little 6-speed gearbox, by the way. I've got to mention that because it is so versatile. When you get it out on a motorway or a dual carriageway, you know, one of those big sort of main roads, it's really lovely. You get it up in that 6th gear. However, there is a little bugbear with this. I'm really shocked because we're getting currently 37.2 to the gallon around town, admittedly. And press car, don't forget. So it's been ragged a little bit. So it's not probably the most economical Ford EcoSport you're going to get on the road. But 37.2, I think this car could do a lot better. The reasoning behind this, and correct me if my reasoning is not correct here, but I feel with a 3-cylinder 1 litre engine, that little engine is working its bottom off, if I put it mildly, to try and give us a good sort of amount of power going down on the wheels. But at the same time, we're suffering with the economy wise of it. And the reason for that is because it is running at such high revs to try and give that feedback to us, to give that power back. Because when the manufacturers developing these engines, they're doing it for the CO2 emissions. They're not necessarily now looking at economy. It's more about CO2 emissions. And rightly so. Save the planet. I agree. We have to. But wouldn't it be better if we fitted a 2-litre engine doing far less revs, burning far less fuel, because economy-wise it would do? I don't know. You correct me or tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it would be a lot better. I love the fact those little engines are in there, but I don't think they're doing the job they're really designed to do. But they're great fun, and this being on that Fiesta chassis gives it that little bit of pedigree, that Ford Fiesta pedigree, that it just wants to have a little race with everything. It's sort of like a bit of a Jack Russell, isn't it? If it was a dog, it'd be a little Jack Russell. It just wants to get up the road and have a bite of you. It wants to grab hold of your exhausts. Right, I've got an apology to make, guys, a big apology. You're probably thinking, what's he apologising about? Well, earlier on, we were talking about heated front seats, heated steering wheel, heated front window, heated front screen, and I said to you that is the winter pack and it's 600 UK pounds. No, wrong. Apologies, hands up, my bad. It is 300 pounds. I made a bit of a mix up when it came to the packs. There's so many packs with these things and so many add-on, bolt-on extras. I mixed it up with the driver assistance pack, which is completely different, and that is 600 UK pounds. So for £300, the winter pack buys you heated front seats, heated steering wheel, heated front screen. Okay, that's £300. That's good. I think it's value for money. Driver assistance pack. Okay, so you get high beam assist, you get blind spot mirrors. This is for £600, by the way. You get autonomous braking, and you get parking sensors front and rear. That's pretty good for 600 quid. I think it's well worth getting as well. There is like and it's called an X pack. It's a luxury pack, basically. So the next, the Lux pack, or X pack, as Ford call it, you get that Bang & Olufsen surround system in here, 10-speaker surround system. Fantastic. Listen, it's lovely bass on it as well. Really nice. It's a super sound. It's Bang & Olufsen at the end of the day. You get foldy-in mirrors. You get the privacy glass at the back, and you get the keyless entry as well. And I think they're all nice things to have. So 600 quid for that, 600 quid for the other one that I just mentioned, the driver assistance pack, £300 for the winter pack. In my books, go for it, guys. I think it's well worth adding those into, even if you're on the top of the range, this Active. I think it would be worth, in my books, I think it would be well worth having a look at the entry level car and adding those packs on, because I think you're going to end up giving up maybe a wheel size, a rim size, and maybe not having leather, and saving the money and using that extra money you saved on the trim level to have those extra packs. Aha, see? Method in my madness. Right, speaking of madness and methods, yes, well, so we've spoken about the economy, not too happy with it. It could be a shade better, gave a reason behind that. What's it like to drive? Because that's what it's all about, really. In my opinion, it's superbly comfortable. Ford don't really make an uncomfortable car, in my humble opinion. It's a great car for an A to B. It's great for shopping. It's got its little problems, you know, with that back door and things like that. But braking wise, reliability wise, you can't go wrong with this car. It's just, you know, it says what it is. It does what it says on the tin. There you go. It's a little urban warrior, this car. And I think it's one of the most understated products that Ford produce, because I hadn't really heard much about it, to be honest. It doesn't have much, you know, publicity about it. But since I've been driving this one, since it was given to me on test by Ford, thank you Ford, I've seen loads of them. I didn't realise there are a lot of these cars out on the road. And I do like the blue. I've got used to it. The Desert Island blue, the extra £500. It's very nice. But I think, you know, given a choice, save the 500 quid, use that to spend on one of those packs. Why not? You see, I'm finding all different ways for you of saving money. Well, there you go. That's more my job. You've been watching me, AJ the Player. Thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review on the Ford EcoSport, because it's a little star. And I've enjoyed driving it for the last couple of weeks. It's just been quite a little star around my household as well. And we've used it to its fullest, trust me. We've had all sorts going on in here. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment. Anything you want to know about this car or want to correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comment box. As far as subscribing, well, just leave the what's name box, the little bell down the bottom there, leave that unchecked and you'll get regular updates, because we're doing these videos like on a really regular basis, like twice a week sometimes even 3 times a week, because we are part of a much bigger organisation. We're part of the Player. Don't sign off yet, because you're about to get something for free. And that's not often that happens in this world, because trust me, there ain't no such thing as a free meal. But in this case there is, because you watch me on AJ the Player YouTube channel, you can get the Player magazine, whatever you want to call it. It's a hardback book, but it comes out on the frequency of a magazine, so it comes out every 3 months. You can have the online version for free. It's 220 pages of what us guys absolutely love. There's cars, there's boats, there's jets, there's interviews, there's golf, there's food, there's wine, there's beer, there's everything in there. Go and check it out. It's at www.theplayer.co.uk. It's just coming up down here now as I pull out of this junction. And if you see, it's just stayed up there a little bit longer. There you go. If you go there, it's no data capture. I don't want to know the inside and outs of a duck's bottom. What I need to know is just a name and an email. That's it. So, and you just put that in and you can download it, or you can actually flick through it online. And every 3 months you get another one, 220 pages. Come on, guys, it's a no-brainer. Go for it, enjoy it. It's on me. Again, thanks for watching me, AJ the Player. Look forward to doing another review next week. Or will it be another review? Could it be an interview? Could it be, well, who knows? Even I don't know. Last but not least, don't forget, give us a thumbs up, guys. Don't get a bonus, don't get paid extra. But what I do get is a pat on the back from the bosses and the sponsors. And it means I've just done a good job. And that means more to me than anything else. So if you've enjoyed this, don't forget, thumbs up. See you later, guys. Catch you next week. Be careful out there. It's a strange old world we live in. But above all, enjoy your life. Catch you next week.